Hey guys, what's up? I'm Lorie, and if this is your very first time joining us here, we are all about encouraging you to be who you are called to be. And today, I have Jack with me. This is my husband, and you don't normally see him because he's usually behind the camera or flying a drone or, doing something. He's my partner, though, in this ministry. And today we are finally sitting down to record our Q&A videos. And you guys sent in some really awesome questions. So we're actually going to divide this into a three-parter. So we're going to have 3 different videos. One's going to be on marriage, one's going to be on faith, and then another is going to be on personal fun questions that you guys have asked. So today we're actually going to be doing the marriage Q&A. So do you want to get started?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question that we got was, what has helped you the most in your marriage in times of struggle, like maybe a Bible verse or friend or a mentor?
Generally, I find that when I'm struggling in my marriage, it's because I'm struggling spiritually. And so the first thing that helps me is to go back to the source of everything, and that's God himself. He created marriage. He created me. He created me to love him and enjoy him forever. And when I'm loving him and enjoying him forever and the purpose that he's called me for, I begin to love my wife better.
Okay, I think for me, I would probably say what's helped me in times of struggle in our marriage has been, or at least helped me the most, has been no matter what, just spending more time in God's Word. And I feel like that's always my answer. I feel like, but it really is true.
But it works.
Spending more time in God's Word. And prayer, like Jack mentioned, is a huge one. I mean, I can think of several times back when God was really restoring our marriage. And I share this a little bit with you guys in the 3 things I've learned in 10 years of marriage video. I'll link that in for you so you can check it out if you want. But I learned that if I was going to be the one to say something and a struggle, if he said something that really upset me, then I usually would just react. And I had a really difficult time not trying to control him or control his actions. And so I learned that I needed to take that to prayer and pray not just for him, but for me too. And really, I mean, I remember several times where I was like, okay, Lord, he really upset me. And if I talk to him, I'm going to say something I shouldn't. And I can't control the situation, so I need you to help me in my heart, help me to love him more, help me to be kind, and help him to see how he has hurt my feelings or whatever. And I mean, there were times that I definitely said things that I shouldn't too. But I don't know how many times I can't even count how many times that God did just step right on in and, and he would speak to Jack, and then Jack would come to me and be like, you know what? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. And honestly, if I had been the one to say something to him in that moment, it wouldn't have come out well. And he probably wouldn't have responded in the way that I really wanted. And so I really learned that I had to pray for our marriage. I had to be praying more for him, and I had to pray more that the Lord would transform my own heart as well. And so that really, in times of struggle, prayer and turning to the Lord through his word as well has been hands down the way to handle a struggle in a marriage.
Yeah, in the end, God created the institution of marriage. Why is it that we think that we were going to do it successfully without him?
Yeah. Good point.
Thank you.
Okay, here's the second question. What is your favorite character trait about each other? Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know. You're the whole package. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Try.
Name a few. I love her playfulness. Aside, you guys don't get to see as much when she's teaching or whatnot, but she's a ton of fun to hang out with. And, of course, I love her insightfulness into so many things. But it really is just, we always have a great time together. We enjoy doing everything together. And I don't know what that character trait is, if I could even put my finger on it, as much as it's just Lorie, and we love spending time together. When I talk to other couples, the guy has his hobby and she has her things, and he has his friends and she has her friends, and they kind of have like these two separate lives, but we're not like that. And that's, we want to be together all the time. We work together. We do music together. We do ministry stuff together. We're here at the house together. We, and when we're here, we like to spend that time together. So I don't know, just that, that's something about her that I just love being around her all the time. That's probably got to be it.
I actually would say the same thing. Okay, no, I was thinking about
what an easy answer. No, I'd like for you to name a few more. Okay, all right, that was my answer. Ditto is your answer.
No, I was really thinking about this question, and I was like, I'm feeling like a jerk because I can't think of like what's that one thing that I like really like about him. But the truth is, like, we've known each other for so long too, like, and I feel like, in a way, we've grown up together, as far as like our adulthood, and we've seen one another grow in areas and mature in areas that, where we were really young and immature before, and our lives are just so intertwined, and we are really our best friends. We don't get along all the time. We just don't.
Don't tell them.
But we are best friends, and just like what he was saying, like we love doing everything together. There's not a single really time where I can think of where I'm like, I just wish I was doing something with somebody else. Like even girlfriends. Like I know I have friends, they love going out with their girlfriends, and that's fine. I mean, I think it's great to have girl time, but for me personally, I really enjoyed just hanging out with him. And I mean, whether it's just having like a movie night at the house or whatever. I mean, like sometimes some of our little date nights will be like, grabbing some food, like the Olive Garden or something. We've done that a couple of times, and just eating like in bed, and watched a movie. We'll do that, or we'll go on dates, or we've gone on like photography dates, or we just take our cameras and go downtown when we lived in Nashville and just take pictures together, or go on bike rides or whatever. And so I don't know, I just love hanging out with him, and so I guess that's a part of it. I love his ability to enjoy life and kind of embrace, like, have adventures, because I love adventures. And so I love that about him. And I love also that he really likes to take me on adventures, and he likes to give me adventures too. And I really appreciate that about him as well. Here's a good one. How did you meet your husband? I met him at his house, actually. He was 19, I think. Mm-hmm. And I had my roommate at the time. We were in the car. I don't know where we were going, but apparently she was on the phone with somebody, and it's a friend of hers, and he was over at somebody else's house, and she wanted to go see him. I don't know if she had a crush on him or what. I think she did. But anyways, so she asked me if I wanted to go over to this guy's house where I guess they were playing pool or something. And honestly, I did not want to go, but I was like, well, we'll just stop for just a few minutes. And so we stopped by, and I walked in, and
there was your future husband,
there
unbeknownst
he
to
was.
you. Now, the way it happened on my end is I knew her friend, who will go unnamed, and wasn't so sure when my buddy got the call that I wanted this to happen. And he was like, so-and-so called, and she wants to come over. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know, kind of. He's like, she's got a friend. I'm like, is she hot? He's like, is she hot? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, come on. And then walks my wife, the hot friend.
The hot friend. That's so funny. So you girls, you never know where you may meet your husband, okay? It really does happen when you absolutely least expect it. So, okay. Next question is, how do you keep the love in your marriage alive? Keep it clean. Any tips?
I've been really trying, YouTube.
Any tips for the trying times? They asked.
The first thing to realize is that love is not just a feeling.
More than a feeling.
More than a feeling. Love is a verb. And so one of the things...
Also a DC Talk song.
Yes, also a DC Talk song. So one of the ways to do that is to show the other person love, is to love them in the ways that they love to be loved.
What?
Everybody has, and if you went to church in the 90s, their love language, right? People have specific ways that they feel that love, that they receive it. And so to know that person and to make sure you give them love in a way that it translates to them helps. Another way would be to be lovable. You know,
There's a thought.
so many people, they're kind of going through this thing, and they just kind of start to become the worst version of themselves. And it's hard to put things back together when you're always in a bad attitude, when you have no joy, when your partner never sees you smile, or be playful, or be you, or whatnot. It's hard for things to find that glue again when you're not you again.
Whoa.
That just happened.
Taken down to Rhyme Town. Okay, I would say, I think that one of the things that's been really important, as we talked about it a little bit before, but, or maybe a lot of it, but I think that it's really important to have those hobbies together, to have fun together. Like, I feel like so many people, they get married and they're like, we're gonna have this beautiful life, especially, when you're dating and then you're like engaged and you're planning your life together and then you get married, but then you have kids, and then it's like everything's just about your kids, and it's just about like, and kids are wonderful, being a parent is wonderful, but it's also really hard and it's really stressful, and then you're thinking about money and you're thinking about work and you're thinking about like the million things that you have to do, and you don't ever have time for each other anymore to be the people that you like, just to be with the person that you decided you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. You're not actually like spending your life with them. You're just like coexisting or something, and that's not the way that it's meant to be. And so we have found that we work best when we're enjoying spending time with one another. And I mean, we'll tell each other sometimes, like, I'm feeling a little disconnected sometimes, like, and we've found that when we start feeling disconnected, a big part of that is because we haven't been really spending like fun time together. We haven't been laughing together. If you're living your life together and you're enjoying one another and finding new hobbies and new adventures to have together, you're not going to find yourself like many couples do. They end up finding themselves just like going this way, and you hear a lot. The
kids finally leave the house, and they're like, "Who is this person?
Who is this person?" Like, you feel like
been
you don't
living
even
a
know
totally
this
different
person
life.
anymore.
When our kids leave, I know who I'm living with.
Absolutely.
And I love her.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm actually, I mean, this sounds awful, like I'm looking forward, but like, but I'm always looking forward to that like new season. Like, I can see the joy in,
we can spend more time together.
Yeah, when it comes time. Like, I love having my kids here now, but there will be a time where they won't be here and they'll be out living their lives and getting married and doing all these wonderful things. I don't want my life to just like be over just because they leave the house, and so I can see where that's going to be joyful.
It's important to remember that these kids wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the love that you have.
Right.
It's important to keep that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, you had your love life, you dated, you may had a year or so or a few years where you were married, and now you have kids, and now you just owe them everything.
Yeah.
You don't owe them your marriage. You know? You
Yeah,
owe them
that's
all
true.
the love you can give them, but you don't owe them your marriage.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I think that we do see a lot of couples that they end up losing their marriage because they're putting so much focus on their kids. And
then the kids are hurt.
And then,
in the end.
absolutely. And it's like, your family doesn't deserve that. Your family deserves to have a husband and a wife who loves one another, a mom and a dad who loves one another. and puts their marriage first.
And sets the example, because one day they will be married, and you will want your son or your daughter to love and to be loved, and throughout their marriage, and not just before they have kids.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be expensive either. I remember, and we used to do this a lot actually, we would just like drive around and look at houses, and just kind of dream together about the future too. I don't think that people should stop dreaming together. I think when you stop dreaming, you just kind of stop looking forward. And you should always, of course, appreciate where you are, but I think there's something to that. We should be dreaming together and looking forward to exciting things together. And that was always something I really enjoyed. We'd play some jazz music in the car and ride around and just talk and look at houses and dream about the future and, the picket fences and the kids playing in the yard. And that was a part of our dream and, stuff like that. It can be simple.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the last question, and it is, what is the hardest part of marriage? For me, I would say the hardest part about marriage is probably just not being selfish, especially when, like, if he's hurt my feelings or something, to continue acting in love I think that's a challenge for me. I mean, we're naturally like selfish, sinful people. That's part of our sinful nature. And so for me, I think that's probably the hardest thing, is just continuing like every day and every second, no matter what, whether he's nice to me or not, or whether, he's giving me my needs or not, or whatever. But, no matter what he's doing or not doing, whether he's doing it right or doing it wrong or whatever, I still have to be godly. I still am responsible for my own actions and my own thoughts. And so for me, that is difficult to continue to act in love and to not be selfish instead. And so that's probably the hardest thing, I think, for me. So that's it. That's the last question. And it's been real. It's been fun.
And it's been real fun.
All right, hey, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to our channel and you'd like to stay updated on brand new videos, we still have 2 more Q&A videos coming out, one on faith and one on personal questions. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you're on a mobile device, you can hit the little bell icon and it'll let you know as soon as we upload a brand new video. And I guess that's it. Until next time, go and be who you're called to be. And do you know the rest? Live every day with purpose.
Doing the Little Rascals, goodbye.
Okay. Bye.